Well, ho ho ho. Your boy Rocco with another twisted tale, from the inner corners of my mind and soul. I really do appreciate the kudos and comments, and actually pleasantly surprised that people take the time to read these loose lines of my life, my loves, my joys, and trials and tribulations as a 57-year-old ADHD psychedelic supernaut and former video killed the radio star, who now finds his self-imposed exile in the Sin City of Southeast Asia as his Bukowski Hunter S. Thompson Henry Miller Kurt Vonnegut Douglas Adams residency as amateur writer pro tem. I really do take this short time together as having some value and meaning for both of us, and don't take it lightly, as time is the most precious commodity we have. So you will find me often these days sitting quietly observing this strange world I've created for myself, contemplating how I want to say these things to you, dear reader. Until this very moment that they finally get punched and pecked into our now shared reality. I wonder about many of you as I follow your post and read your own little blurbs of consciousness, and hope that you are faring as well as you can under the circumstances. This life is stranger than fiction indeed. So how can I empower and embolden you to keep plugging forward, just as I have sworn to do so? I am in pure privileged from my Paradise Beach exile, and make no qualms about the choices and sacrifices I have made to remain in this liminal existence. A blissful holding pattern of a Groundhog Day of my own making. So I don't dare to condemn or judge any of you too harshly for your own routines in the rat race. I only hold those who continue to make our lives difficult and challenging with their desire to subjugate us and control us with their narrow arcane view of a corrupt racist golden age where the rights of the workers, women, people of color, sex orientation, genders, and simply the other are not equal or upheld as promised by the ideals and principles that have separated us from other nations and empires throughout history. How the powers that be continue to cast Orwellian and Huxleyan shadows over our collective fate as a people who long to be free from servitude to false masters and fake gods. An entire generation of potential and talent wiped out by predatory algorithms and casino house-favored odds of economics. The game is so rigged and rotten it makes fools of all at one time or another. Yet, we still squabble and battle one another over the crumbs that the elite and uber-wealthy cast down with Reagan-era trickle-down economics. Pissing on our backs and telling us it is raining. The code bias that keeps us pitted against one another in multitude of ways. Our selective outrage occupying our real disdain for a system that threw us all overboard long ago. We have failed each other, and I have failed you. I took my marbles, and not only left the game, I left the country. I have yet to imagine a way back that doesn't put me in a bell tower with the vilest form of protest, terror. So all I can do is try to love. Every day, giving thanks for another chance to love my enemy, but also to love the greatest enemy I have ever faced, myself. It's a tall order, especially if I get whiff of the news or stare too long at my reflection in the mirror. I know that remaining in denial of the injustices and crimes against the innocent is no solution, no more than beating myself for my very sordid and checkered past. There isn't a true friendship that I have that I didn't fuck up or fuck over with selfish action or monetary debt that I cannot repay. I think of the solitary crimes committed in total secrecy to protect my own selfish hide and know full well I must carry these horrible acts to my grave. The simple fact that allude to such mystery alone will shake many who think they know me and see this funny happy-go-lucky guy, not knowing the litany of transgressions I have tailing me like a hot comet of shit and wrongdoing. I really don't have guilt or regret these deeds against those that deserved it, but years of leading a double and triple life are what keep me here away from the possibility of hurting anyone else. I had always thought of myself as Alan Moore's The Comedian, but it seems Dr. Manhattan is much better choice for the toxic results of being around me. I freely give you this slight confession in the hope that you will forgive yourself for any wrongdoing that you may have also committed, and know that there will always be someone dirtier than you. And it might just be your maverick hero that stands before you in this crossroads of our time together. Violence and treachery runs in my DNA, and I have spent a lifetime trying to minimize its effects on my own life and those near me. So far, only heavy heroic doses of psilocybin have been effective in taming the beast within. I have flatlined my ego on several occasions in this most recent journey to transform myself and can only imagine that a few more massive trips will render me docile or at the very least a gibbering harmless old space case. A risk I am willing to take if it means never harming another soul, with my personal brand of trauma drama. This sacred and natural medicine has been the only relief from myself in key stages in my life. The cure-all for depression, PTSD, bipolar, ADHD, and a slew of other deviant behaviors that have exited my body through the projections of my third eye. So I am glad that it's making a comeback and finally being explored as an avenue of therapy. Meanwhile, I will be white-knuckling horrifying and holy visions under the moonlight, howling my torments and pain away. This is in no way advice to do the same, and I do not wish some of the shit I've seen on anyone. All I can say is this is what I have dared to do over a series of semi-controlled experiments in an effort to escape the monsters and demons that have plagued me since the last great resets of overcoming addiction in the late 90s. In the wiry bundle of personal bullshit is my emerging mantra of love and kindness, and that is the message I bring from the void. I haven't fallen through time often, and in those terrifying eternal hours of fear and damnation were the eternal and infinite strings of love and kindness. Those wells never run dry. So these are the weapons we have to fight with. As true warriors, we must accept our willingness to die for this cause. You can never be on the wrong side of the fight for love and kindness. Drink freely from this spring and offer all those that thirst the same ration. They may be finally ready to accept our fate as the humble and the meek who shall inherit this earth. The kingdom is here and now, and we must choose to live in it as surely as we live in our own hearts and minds. Forever had begun, and only these amazing but temporary vessels we amble around in as dynamic meat suits will perish. The energy contained will not be destroyed but converted and returned to source. These are the things that have been given to me at this time. I surrender.